It's the greatest bit of comic book marketing outside the direct market anyone in comics has done in years, and I'm afraid Marvel might blow it. This is the Pipeline Comics Podcast. Hi, I'm Augie DeBleek Jr., and welcome back to the Pipeline Comics Podcast, looking at European comics from a North American perspective and a whole lot more. Today, we're back to that whole lot more thing. I really wanted this one to be about European comics, but a piece of news broke overnight, basically, since last I checked the news feeds, that so excited me and incensed me all at the same time, I had to do a podcast about it. If you hadn't heard over the weekend and into this week, Fortnite, the world's largest video game, most likely 350 million people play it according to some of the stats, which, stats are funny things and I don't always believe them, but let's just say tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of people worldwide play this. Like, a bigger audience than probably sees Marvel movies, let alone has ever read a comic book in their lifetime in the history of the world kind of number. It's huge. The next season of Fortnite is going to be Marvel-themed. Marvel characters in Fortnite. Exciting Fortnite readers everywhere about the world of Marvel comics, or at least Marvel characters. We've all seen that the movies and TV shows have failed to bring new readers into comics in massive numbers, but you have to keep shooting for that. You have to keep trying to get the comics out in front of new audiences, and Fortnite is pretty much the biggest and most captive audience you can imagine. So Marvel characters in Fortnite, and in addition, I'm not sure exactly all the details here, but the Fortnite Island is in a recent Thor storyline and will feature there prominently. This is great. This could bring in lots of Fortnite people who are obsessed with the game. They spend lots of money on the game. We know they spend money on the game for dance moves and whatever else they spend money on. I don't know, but they do spend money on it. They might be curious about spending money on comic books. Maybe this is wishful thinking on my part. I don't know. But if I'm a marketer at Marvel, everything I'm doing right now is aimed at bringing some of those 350 million video game players over to comics. In fact, I would have been planning on this for months. And there may be more stuff in the works besides a Thor storyline. I don't know. It's early. We don't know what the contract is between Epic and Marvel. Epic right now is busy suing the world because they don't like the way app stores work because they're petulant children, but that's another story. The bigger story right now is, what is Marvel going to do to capitalize on Fortnite being part of the Marvel universe, basically, and all their characters being in front of all those Fortnite players? Well, Marvel is doing a series of variant covers featuring Marvel characters crossing over with Fortnite characters. And I smacked my head at the stupidity of this. The absolute, unerring stupidity of this maneuver. Again, it might be a contract issue, and I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps Epic wanted to limit Marvel in some way, so they said you can only do variant covers. And we don't know what the percentage of these variant covers are. Maybe they're 50-50. I don't know. But for goodness sakes, you should have Fortnite characters on every single freaking comic book cover you publish this month or next month or whenever these final order cutoffs are for. It should time out with the game having the Marvel characters. The comic books should be in the stores at the same time, and every freaking cover should have a Fortnite character on it. You want every Fortnite player to want to read every Marvel comic. Period. You do not make it harder on potential new readers to get the comics they want by making them variant covers, for goodness sakes. Even if the storylines aren't all set on Fortnite Island, the covers should not be variants. And again, we don't know the percentage. That's not in the news details yet. But if it's a variant cover, the odds are good the best number it's going to be is 50-50, and people are going to pat themselves on the back at a brilliant move that this is, that regular readers can get their covers, and Fortnite readers can have their covers. But no, the regular readers will buy the books no matter what. They're reading them. They're fine. Just make the Fortnite covers the only cover available so that comic shops don't have to worry about, are they going to get an influx of new people from Fortnite world coming to buy their comics, and now they won't be able to stock them because they have to order twice as many to get the same number of Fortnite covers. It's insane. Marvel should be making this as easy as possible for Fortnite readers to come to comics, or Fortnite players to come to read their comics. This is where Marvel should be advertising right now. And granted, the Fortnite video game is basically the advertisement. But again, not everybody knows that comic books are still being published. So you have to have a secondary effort with this. You have to educate those video game players that the comic books still exist. That's part one. Part two, if you can't have every comic book storyline set on Fortnite Island, you should at least have every cover featuring a Fortnite character, and you should not make it harder to get those covers. Fortnite players should be able to walk into the comic shop and see all these covers and pick the ones they want and not worry that they have to get there right away because all the other Fortnite people are going to get there first, or the regular readers of the comics are going to just want their regular monthly comics and they're going to pick whatever cover they can get. Why are we so obsessed with variant covers in ways that I could argue have already harmed the industry as it is? It makes it looks like the sales figures are higher than they really are. This, again, is why I see Comic-Con's numbers, and while I think John Jackson Miller does a great job calculating all this stuff, we don't know what percentage of those growing numbers, quote-unquote, are due to these ridiculous variant cover schemes. I'm more interested in the number of people, the number of readers who are reading and buying comics. But why are we so obsessed with variant covers that Fortnite characters are only on the variants? They should be across the board on every cover, period, end of story. And if Marvel screws this opportunity up, I can't even, it's over. I mean, I can make the argument it's over already, but Marvel's publishing offices in DC, and then New York, I'm sorry, DC, that's a weird Freudian slip. Marvel's publishing offices in New York should just close up now, because what's the point? If you can't get this simple thing right, if you're so freaking obsessed with variant covers that this is the way you try to capitalize on Fortnite, you're dumb. Dumb. I know it's not nice to call people names or to make ad hominem attacks, but really, this golden opportunity, this giant golden egg is right there, and you're going to blow it with variant covers again? For goodness sakes. I'm sure there's more coming. I hope there's more coming. I mean, if their only tie-in is a variant cover, that's really silly, but I'm sure their digital efforts will be huge on this. I hope their digital efforts will be huge on this because that's where the Fortnite players all are. But if you want to bring them into the world of comics, don't make it harder than it has to be. Don't see this as an opportunity to artificially boost sales for a month. Think of this as an opportunity to bring new readers in to sustain that growth of readership. Or it's also possible Marvel knows the video game players are not going to come to comics. Let's try to sell these books to speculators. And let's try to sell the books to the handful of people who actually will come into comic shops. Maybe I should be more cynical about all this, and maybe I should give Marvel credit for knowing exactly what they're doing. They are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic as we speak. Okay, I'll calm down now, but I think you get my point. Variant covers is a stupid way to market Fortnite. Marvel should do better.